This is an introductory video on equality and specifically inequalities. So when we talk about equality, we're talking about things being either equal or not equal. For example, we know 5 is equal to 5, and we know that 5 is not equal to 10. The next type of symbols that we will look at are inequalities. And those are these 4 symbols right here: greater than or equal to, less than, and less than or equal to. And notice that we show the equal to by putting a line underneath the arrow. You've probably learned before when you studied inequalities that with this little arrow, sometimes they called it the alligator, it always opens up to the larger number. For example, 8 is greater than 4. When we're reading inequalities, if we look right here, A is less than B. This would read A is greater than B. A is less than or equal to B. And A is greater than or equal to B. Example with numbers. If I have this example right here, we always read our inequalities with the variable first. So I would read this: X is greater than 5. Always read with the variable first. So every once in a while, especially when you're solving inequalities, you might get an answer that looks like this. Sorry, that's an X. I'm going to rewrite it. All right. I encourage you to rewrite these so that the variable is coming first. So I'm going to write my variable. Notice how the inequality is getting opening up towards the X. So X is greater than 3. X is greater than 3. Okay, let's look at this next example right here. Which numbers would be a solution to the inequality X is greater than or equal to 4? Take a second, look at the answer choices, and select your responses. Okay, and we can go through each one. 2 greater than 4? No. 0? No. -1? No. 10 is greater than or equal to 4. 8 is greater than or equal to 4. And 4 is equal to 4, so that would be one of our answer choices. -4, not one of our answer choices. Another way to represent a solution to an inequality is by graphing that inequality. When we graph our inequality, the first thing we need to look at is that inequality symbol and whether we're going to show that as an open circle or a closed circle. So, inequalities use closed circles when the number is included in the solution. This occurs when you have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. The equal to means the value is included in the solution. When the value is not included in the solution, then we use an open circle. This is going to occur when you have less than or greater than. So in this example right here, n is less than 4. So you'll notice at the 4, we have an open circle. Since n is less than 4, we have that open circle at 4, and then we are shading all of the numbers to the left of 4 because there are infinitely many numbers that are less than 4. We can't just put dots on our graph because we have to show that even the number really close to 4, like 3.999999999, is a solution. So we show that by shading in our solution. So on your piece of paper or in your head, think about what the graph of the solution to x is greater than or equal to 4 would be. Would it be an open circle or a closed circle? Would you shade to the left or would you shade to the right? When I create my graph, I always like to show where my 0 is. And then since it says x is greater than or equal to 4, I'm going to show the number 4 on my number line. Because it says x is greater than or equal, I know that that's going to be a closed circle because the 4 is included in the value. And I need all of the values greater than that. So I'm going to shade in the greater direction because I know that 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on are a part of my solution. Okay, let's look at this next set of examples. On a piece of paper, sketch what you think the graphs of these solutions would be. Pause the video first to do this, and then come back when you have finished. Okay, welcome back. Looking at example A, remember I want to have a 0 on each of my graphs here. This is saying x is less than 2. So I come over to 2. Less than means open circle, and then all of the values less than 2. I know 0 is less than 2, so I'm going to shade in the less than direction. B, x is greater than or equal to 2. So come over here to 2. Because I have equal to, I'm going to have a closed circle. And I want all the x values greater than 2. I know that 0 is not greater than 2, so I'm going to shade in the opposite direction of 0. Put an arrow. C, x is less than or equal to 2. So because of this equal to, closed circle, x is less than. I know 0 is less than 2, so I'm going to shade in the less than direction. Finally, D, x is greater than or equal to 2. Come over to 2. X is greater than 2. Because there is no equal sign, I'm going to put an open circle. And I need the x values that are greater, so I'm going to shade in the greater direction. This next example, take a look at that. How would you read that example? Remember, I suggested always read with the variable first. So I'm going to rewrite this as x is less than or equal to 5. Notice how the arrow is opening up towards the 5, and that still is remaining true right here. So x is less than or equal to 5. So I'm going to, at my 5, because it's less than and equal to, closed circle, less than in the less than direction. Okay, I have another set of examples here for you. So pause the video and give these a try and turn the video back on when you are ready. All right, welcome back. I'm going to go through these rather quickly. X is greater than 6, open circle, greater than shading. F. This is one where the variable is not coming first, so I'm going to rewrite this so that the variable is coming first. So x is less than or equal to 4. Closed circle on the 4, x less than 4. X is less than -4. Open circle, less than. And finally, x is less than or equal to 11. Less than or equal to, so closed circle on the 11, and less than. Finally, for our extension question, think about how would you write the solution to this inequality in interval notation? For starters, I know this is going to be an open circle greater than. So what would that look like as an interval notation? Well, since 3 is included, remember our intervals go from left to right. So I start at 3 and I go all the way to infinity. And because 3 is included, I will have a bracket at 3, parenthesis,